So China and AI, and of course all this money talk's fantastic, but we're in an economic war with China, and he is cutting them off at the pass in the fastest growing region on earth, the Middle East.
Let me throw to one of the other guys. So there's three guys at CNN that I can throw to, and I know I don't have to make fun of them. It's Shermichael Singleton, it's Scott Jennings, and Kevin O'Leary. Take a look, because he had an interesting take that's a little bit sort of off the angle that we've been going on here. Take a look.
What's going on with this trip are two things. One is China. He doesn't want China to develop a relationship in what I call the Middle East circle of friendship, and that is Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. And then you ask yourself, why are all these AI guys with him? What's with that? And I'll tell you what it's about. At the end of this week, he has a meeting in Abu Dhabi. And what's happened in the last 2 years, maybe it's taken 3, but U.S. is number 1 in AI development and spending. Number 2 is China. Number 3 now, and very advanced in certain verticals, is the United Arab Emirates. They are so far ahead in many different verticals. And he wants to see that cooperation on AI be removed from the China model, because remember there was talk about the UAE starting to talk to China about AI. He doesn't want any of that. He wants these companies to form very strong bonds in AI, and when we get later this week to the UAE, that's what you're going to hear about. This is crucial. So China and AI, and of course all this money talk's fantastic, but we're in an economic war with China, and he is cutting them off at the pass in the fastest growing region on earth, the Middle East.
All right, Shermichael, it's just me and you now. I really like that angle, because it's not sort of just the pure, okay, America made mistakes in the Middle East, let's think about it differently. He's looking at it in a much broader sense, which is that the AI revolution is here whether we like it or not. Skynet is here, the robots are here, all the sci-fi stuff that I love is here right now, and maybe actually what we're doing has a little something to do with that, not just, oh, maybe there's more access to markets or a little more oil or something like that.
Yeah, no, look, I think Kevin O'Leary, who is a dear friend, we text here and there.
How do they let him on CNN and Fox? He's the only guy that's allowed to do that crossover. What's going on?
He's not signed, so when you're not under contract, Dave, you can kind of go all over the place. And he and I actually talked about that. He said, you know, you're so good, you should not sign again so that you can appear all over the place. I said, we'll see how that works out, Kevin. But look, Dave, he's right. The Chinese have an interesting strategy here, globally speaking. They're all over Africa. They're in the Congo, getting those rare earth minerals that they actually refine. Believe it or not, I don't know if your audience is aware of this, 70% of our imports of rare earth minerals come from China. And these minerals are important for our defense, our energy needs, and even our industrial development needs as well. Even these little smartphones, these things we love so much, you need the refinement of those rare earth minerals for battery technologies. The Elon Musk and smart cars, you need rare earth minerals for those as well. So that's one side of the argument of trying to cripple China there, I think is fundamentally important. But 2, AI is the next frontier. We were once an agrarian society, then we transformed into an industrial society. Now we're in the beginning stages of the nano phase. And I would argue whoever leads this phase, more so than being an agrarian society, more so than being an industrialized society, whoever leads this phase, I would say will probably lead for the next maybe 500 to 1,000 years, based on what some of our current analysts are predicting where this will ultimately go and the transformations that it will lead for defense needs, for health needs, and I can go down the line. And so I think the president wanting to build upon the relationship with the Middle East, as they are the number 3 and leading with AI technology, is smart. China is also there. I've been studying this for quite some time, even with BRICS, the Brazil, Russia, India, China currency pact that they've been really trying to improve upon to usurp the dollar's lead internationally speaking. They have constantly been going to Dubai, to Qatar, other countries in the region to try to build upon their relationship there. And so I think Trump is really looking at sort of a chess move here versus checkers. How do we decouple from them in terms of the reliance on rare earth minerals? How do we make sure that we strengthen upon the relationship with the Middle East for AI versus China? And also, I think this is important, Dave, when you don't hear about this as much as I think we probably should, the Chinese essentially import-export bank has been going around the globe giving out these essential zero interest rate loans to developing nations. And the reason they're doing this is to build relationships and loyalty with these countries, to shift that loyalty from the United States to China. And so a recognition of how we need to usurp what they're attempting to do in 3 critical areas here, I think is absolutely foundational. And people may, ignore this now, But I promise you in 10 years, we'll look back on this moment and say, holy smoke, this was absolutely consequential to maintaining the U.S. global lead across the world.
Let's talk weight loss. Over 13 million Americans are taking Ozempic or similar drugs, most without having diabetes. That's risky business with lawsuits piling up over side effects like GI issues, pancreatitis, kidney damage, and even cancer. Think you're invincible? Think again. If you struggle with cravings, slow metabolism, or stubborn fat, you're not alone. That's why the doctors at the Wellness Company created the safer needle-free solution. It's called DROP, a breakthrough GLP-1 peptide that works with your body to curb appetite, support metabolism, and balance blood sugar. No prescriptions, no shots, just a few tasteless drops in your water each morning. For our listeners, head on over to twc.health/Rubin and use code Rubin at checkout to save $75 off plus free shipping. Summer's coming. If you're looking for real results without the risks, it's time to drop it like it's hot.